All right, good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is Tasha M. Dyer. Hold on. Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, This is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. And let me officially welcome each and every last one of you all to BYOB Market Talks. Now, as you log in this evening, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. Also drop those affirmations, guys. And then also go share the stream, right? BYOB Movement Worldwide is our Facebook page. 2 million strong, 2 million strong, 2 million strong. And reach out to your friends, your neighbor, your relative, individuals that you know, because yes, we're going on holiday schedule, but we're not on holiday tonight, okay? We are preparing our mindsets, okay? We're preparing ourselves for what is to come. I said it was our last call this morning. I didn't say it was our last call tonight. We still have tonight. And then I do want to let you guys know we're still going to do the training. When we do stop the morning calls, right? When we do stop the morning calls for the holiday season, the holiday schedule, we're still going to have our evening calls. So I know that's something to get excited about. And I'm saying that because the reality is we're preparing you. We are preparing you. We're preparing each and every last one of you all to what's to come. So many of us just walked into six figures in 6 months, and we're actually about to do it again. So we want to make sure that we take the time to walk you through this skill set development, to take our time with you. So I know, can we get excited about that? I know that's something to get excited about, right? So definitely something to get excited about. All right, so let's see, who do we have on the line? Good evening, Jacksonville. Good evening, Jacksonville. Good evening, Essex, UK. Good evening, Minnesota. Good evening, Cleveland, Ohio. Good evening, Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Fort Mill, South Carolina. Good evening, Cleveland, Tennessee. Good evening. Yes, it is exciting, right? Because we love ya. Good evening, New Jersey. I see you on YouTube. Good evening, Chattanooga. Good evening, Cleveland, right? Good evening. Yes, it was a Trust Your Trade Thursday. Good evening, Cleveland. Guys, drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. Along with those affirmations. We definitely need those affirmations in the chat this evening. So drop it in the chat. All right. Hello, Virginia. Good evening. Now, let's get our minds together. I see you guys still logging in, and that's okay. I know you're like, wait, we have a call. It's not holiday yet. No, it's not holiday yet. So let me go ahead and let's get our minds right, because we want to make sure perfect practice makes perfect, right? Perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So we want to practice those affirmations. I am an educated BYOB master trader, anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. Now you guys do add to that, but don't take away. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time, right? I'm just going to spend a little bit of time walking you through our affirmations and why they're important. There's a training call, all right? We're not doing a market analysis. We're actually doing a training call, which is ultimately going to be a market analysis, all right? But I want to kind of walk you through the why behind the what of everything. And so that's actually what we're going to do tonight. And so if this is your first time, as we get started and we dive into that, if this is your first time here with us this evening, let me get a 111 in the chat. If you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222 in the chat. If you are cashing out, let me get a 777 in the chat. And of course, if you are compounding, let me get an 888. So just drop it in the chat. Hot mic. When you log on, make sure that you go ahead and make sure you mute those mics as well. All right, so let's talk about it, okay? I see some 111s, 222s. Now, I do want to know, if you push the button for the first time this week, let me get a 333, right? I need to know where you guys are tonight. And so as you do that, I'm going to walk you through exactly what those affirmations mean. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. It was liberating, wasn't it? It felt really, really good, didn't it? It was so liberating, wasn't it? I know it felt really, really good, right? Yeah, I know. Look at that big old yes. Look at that yes, yes, yes. Right? All right. So, and I'm proud of you. I'm so excited for you. Right? Now, I'm gonna take my time with you all tonight, because I want to make sure that we get to the 6 figures. I want to make sure that all of you all are in the mindset. And so when we look at mindset, right? When we look at, mindset development, when we look at that, psychologically, your success is mental. Your success is mental. Whether you can do a thing, you can't do a thing, whatever you can or cannot do, it's all mental, right? It's all mental. And so how many of you all believe, let me ask you, how many of you all believe that you're going to obtain the 6 figures? How many of you all believe that? How many of you all understand that you can do it? Right? How many? Okay, I got some I do's. I got a me, right? I believe. And so that's where we have to start, because no matter what you do, right? No matter what transpires, if you don't believe in yourself and if you don't believe that you can, that's where the transformation is not going to take place. So you notice that every single call that we do, okay, you better do it. I'm gonna read the comment from you. It says, I had better do it. I burned the boats. That means that you stepped out on faith. That's what that means, that you definitely, stepped out on faith. And so, so that's where we are, right? So I just want you to understand just how significant that is. And so mentally, right? Mentally, mindset development is where your success is. That is 99% of your success. And so sometimes we have to do a mental check, because we have things in our lives that have told us we don't deserve it, or we haven't seen wealth in our families, or certain things. And I'm telling you right now, you have to mentally know that you know that you know, right? That you do deserve it. You need to know that you know that you know that is yours for the taking. That's where we have to start. So when we say, I am, right? We're speaking into the now, right? You could have enrolled today. I know if you enrolled today, you didn't get 6 figures out of the market, but you have to be mindful of what we affirm, right? I see, look, that affirmation is walking into exactly what I'm saying. We have to be very, very mindful of what we affirm. We have to affirm in the I am, right? Because if we say I am, think it, I am always, I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I'm speaking it into existence. If we're speaking I will in the future, one day, then guess what? Do you guys realize that tomorrow never comes? That every day we say tomorrow, but tomorrow is today. So the tomorrow never gets here. So if we're affirming a can, if we're affirming a will, if we're affirming soon, if we're affirming, it's always going to be that. I will, I can, I might, in the future, one day. The future never gets here. It's always the future. So we have to affirm into the I am. We have to affirm into the now. We have to affirm into the belief. So we know you didn't do 6 figures today. If you enrolled today, I'm going to say, welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But you have to begin with the I am. I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. And so we did a radio broadcast, right? We do our Tuesday broadcast. And it talks about we did a broadcast talking about it being anointed for wealth. So being anointed for wealth, right? That in itself is the understanding who you are and what you have dominion over. And so you're affirming that it's going to manifest. So that's why I'm like, stop typing, stop copying and pasting, start typing. And even if you're copying and pasting, you need to be saying it with so much boldness and confidence. You need to be saying it with so much boldness and confidence that the only choice it has to do is manifest, right? I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal, which means that you understand the markets. You see it with clarity, right? That's what you're seeing. All my trades in and profit. Think about it. When I started this journey, I've told you guys this before. I was told, oh, you're going to blow an account. Why? Why would I blow an account? Why would I blow an account? Did anybody tell you it was going to bounce checks? Yes, I'm dating myself. Did anybody tell you it was going to bounce a check? Did anybody tell you that? Or did they tell you that this is how you balance your checkbook? Did they tell you to make sure that you wrote everything down and your checkbook came with a little slot for the pen, right? So everybody told us to make sure we balanced our checkbooks. So I'm telling you how to do proper risk management, how to analyze these charts. So all my trades in profit. And because we affirm that, what I do know to be true is we have several individuals that are part of this movement that haven't missed a trade in months. You know, I have to give that disclaimer. If you could see me, you see me doing a quote unquote, right? That disclaimer that past profits don't guarantee future results. So let me give you the disclaimer. But I also want you to understand that you have to affirm that you are a winner. You have to affirm that all your trades in profit. And then, right, I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit, I am 777. What is 777? Have you guys seen the chat? What do you drop in the chat when you drop 777 in the chat? What do you drop in the chat when you, look, what do you drop in the chat? Yeah, you drop the 777. What do you drop in the chat when you all take profit? What do you drop? Well, guess what? You drop the understanding that you just cashed out, you've turned the market into your personal ATM. And then I love the fact that you guys turn around and you personalize it. Because I see I am a BYOB average breaker. I see 2 million strong. I see the 6 and 6. You know, I see all of those things, right? I see those things. And then, of course, you know, some of y'all have dissertations, and I love it. And I'm being funny when I say a dissertation, but it's a dissertation. But it's good. It's good because you started with an affirmation and then it grew. You started with affirmations we asked you to say, and then it grew. Economically unbothered, perfect peace. I mean, you just look at really the market is my ATM. I have the proper mindset for success. Look at the things that you all are affirming. And so that's definitely something to get excited about. So that's what we start. So why am I doing this? Why am I going through that tonight? Because here we are in a month where things typically slow down. And that's because we ride the wave of the market. But this is your study time. This is your study month. This is your study. But, you know, we took profit. Just a quick recap. You can see we made money today. I saw all the 777s from when we analyzed that this morning. That's the viewpoint from, you know, earlier. So you have two different perspectives to see it from. When we kind of take a look, right, at what happened in the market, the GBP USD, all of the things that we kind of analyzed a little bit this morning, look at oil, right? We did oil yesterday. And so Bitcoin we're waiting on. So all of the things that we analyzed and all of the things that we looked at, it was really because your mindset was there first. And then we start analyzing. And so what we're doing in the midst of this slowing down does not mean I can't make money. It means that we want to make sure that you are properly educated so you can dive in, you can build your consistency, focus and hone in on your skill set. And then when January rolls around, because remember, we don't move the market. We ride the wave of the market. So guess what happens? People go on holiday. They take breaks. I mean, some of you guys are on holiday, not you all because you're on the call, but some of you all are on holiday already because that's the mental mindset that we tend to go into. And so that's normal. So if we ride the wave of the market and we know that people go on break, or people are traveling, or people are where they are, then the reality, and with families and slowing down, then the ones who move the market are doing the same thing. So there's not an expectation to get on here and see what I see in January, to get on here and see what I see in March, okay? It's an expectation that it slows down just a little bit. And so what we do first, after we get our minds right, you know, when you go on a trip, don't you get your mind right before you take a vacation, before you go on a trip, before you go to work? Some of y'all sit in the car for 15 minutes before you go in the building. I'm sorry, some of y'all sitting there for an hour. When you come home, some of y'all sit in the car for a minute before you go in the house. So take some time, decompress, get your mind right, and then get in the charts. You want to always approach it with the right mindset. So see, she said an hour. It takes an hour. It takes you an entire hour, you know, but it's real. And so we cannot just jump charts, right? We cannot do that. Take a moment, get your mind together, affirm the positivity, create the right environment, and then let's go trade. Y'all with me? Let me get a 555. Now, for those of you all who are new with us this evening, or for those of you all who have never been on this call, so what happens is Monday through Friday, I'm adding days. No, Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. and 9 a.m., we're live in the market, right? We're doing market analysis, you know, diving in. And then, of course, on Tuesday and Thursday nights is our market talks, followed by a talk with the finance doctor. So, right? So now what we must do is help you understand we have a holiday schedule. Oh, and on Tuesdays at 5 is our radio broadcast. So, but understand that we have a holiday schedule. And so right now there's no 9 a.m. call. After next week, there will be no, so next week we only have a 5 a.m. call. And then the following week after that, we're doing only training. So we will have our Tuesday and Thursday night trainings, okay? We're doing training, okay? So the only thing that we're gonna have, so we have one more week, and then we're doing training. So I want you, and the reason why we're not stopping the training is because we want to we want to go on holiday too, but we want you to win more than we want to break. We want you guys to have six figures more than we want you to have a break. So, you know, more than we need a break. We want to make sure that you are prepared and ready to execute when the new year rolls around. So we're going to take our time and walk through this, and I'm starting that tonight. All right. Now, when we get on the charts, okay, the first thing we have to do is check the news. Now, I'm not going to go through the news tonight, but I do want you guys to understand that there are red folders that come. Now, as we've trained on in the past, right, look, here go the CPI we've been looking for all week. It's tomorrow. It's normally on Wednesday, but after NFP. Remember we were looking for it on Monday, trying to show you the date, and I'm like, where the CPI didn't run away, did it? But here's the CPI. So what we do, now our minds are right. Then we come in and we focus on making sure we check the news. Well, thank you. We appreciate, we love you. That's why. So you check it. And that's because this is no different than checking the weather. And I'm using these analogies because I want you all to understand it's no different than what you already do in your everyday life. It is literally no different than what you already do in your everyday life. So in your everyday life, right, we check the weather before we leave the house, before we decide, before we go on vacation, before we get on the road, you know, before we do different things. And so now the phone even just give me a pop-up, you know, I'm always talking about my iPhone. The other day, my iPhone just told me and say, you know what, rain is expected in 13 minutes. And I was just like, are y'all serious? Did you really get that good? You gave me a notification of the weather. So basically it let me know I needed to go pick up my granddaughter first before I picked up my daughter, you know, so it allows you to make the necessary adjustments that you need. See, when I pick up my daughter, you pull up, you on the app, they bring them to the car with the umbrella and everything else. When I pick up my granddaughter, I got to get out of the building. I got to go inside. I don't want to get wet, you know, so I made an adjustment. I went and picked her up first. So the news helps you understand that I'm going to make the necessary adjustments to my trading. It helps me understand what I should do. It helps me understand If the liquidity being pushed in the market, is it going to strengthen or weaken the currency? And so that's why we always check the news. So now what have we done? We've gotten our minds right, and now we've checked the weather. We checked the temperature. We understand what's going on. Any questions, comments, or testimonies so far, right? We're setting the environment. We're setting the stage. We're creating the right atmosphere. We're adjusting our vibrations, okay? We know that we're anointed for wealth. So no questions, no questions, no questions, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to come here. Now, what you see us analyzing all the time, okay? I'm walking you through. I need y'all successful. What you see us walk on all the time is what we call the vibrato. Now, this is at imlwebanalyzer.com. Now, of course, I'm going to get us a clean chart. You know, I like the clean chart. We're going to have a clean chart. So to kind of go over things. So we'll get a clean chart and we'll dive into this. But first and foremost, I want you to understand something. When you come in here, you're going to go to your academies. You're going to get started here. And guess what? If you need to do it again, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again and do it again and do it again. It's okay. Trust me. Remember, I'm the one that couldn't count pips. I'm the one that was like a who? A pip of what? You know, so I'm the one that couldn't do that in the beginning. And so you want to make sure that you take the time and take ownership and come through here and go through the academy first. And then, trust me, we're getting to the trades, I promise. And then when you come to strategy, okay, when you come to strategy, I'm just trying to get your mind right for these next 2 or 3 weeks. That's all I'm trying to do right now is get your minds right, because I need you to take ownership. How many of you all are ready for the 6 figures in 6 months, right? How many of you all? Drop it in the chat. You guys know what to drop. Y'all know what to drop. Drop it in the chat. Y'all know I will sit here all night. Drop it in the chat. There it is, a 6 and 6. So we know that we're going to do 6 figures in 6 months. We know we're going to compound. And I want you to understand compounding. It's not a foreign concept. You already do it. How many of you all have a credit card? How many of you all have a house? How many of you all have a car? How many of you all have all of those things? We are very consistent in being consistent and consistently compounding out. We accept it as our norm in society, right? Because we cannot, right? I see the me. We cannot get away from it because that is the world we live in. So I'm not anti-institution, you know, Dr. Byford always says it, okay? But we're pro your household, that is what we are. So understand what we're doing is showing you how to bring it home, how to bring it in. And what Ms. Anderson does consistently is go over that chart to help you guys understand it. And so what I'm gonna do is on Tuesday, you guys did the basics, but I wanna show you what I really believe will help you. How many of you all have gone through the training or have begun to combine the harmonic scanner with the vibrato, right? And it's helped you see the market. Let me get a 777 if it's helped you see the market, if it's helped you, right? How many of you all have? All right. So it looks like we're going to have good, awesome. Looks like we're going to have a historical trade. That's what it looks like. They don't have anything new on here right now. Well, GBP, AUD. Let me write those down. So I'm going to write those two down. So let me tell you how this works. Y'all see all of this? This is not what we analyzing at. So for those of you all looking at the harmonic scanner for the first time, do not spaz out. Do not get your spaz alert on. Let me help you relax your shoulders. Woosah. Breathe in, breathe out. We're not doing that. We're not doing any of that. All right. We're not even looking over there. What we are doing is, let me explain to you what this tool does though, why I like it. So what this does is it scans the market and finds harmonic patterns. Now, a harmonic pattern is a reversal pattern. All right. That's what it is. A harmonic pattern is a reversal pattern in the market. And so what does the market do? The market goes up, the market goes down, the market goes sideways. I'm going to say that one more time. The market goes up, the market goes down, the market goes sideways, okay? That's what the market does. And so when you're looking at the charts, okay, I have GBP, that's USD. Oh, look, it triggered twice, y'all. So we're going to come over here. Let me see. You guys know I'm going to want to analyze it because if we can make some money, we're going to make some money. All right. So GBP, AUD right there, but I'm going to take one and I'm going to clean it off. All right. So we're going to go from complete scratch. So I thought we were going to go from scratch. I might have to get another one. It doesn't. Now, see, had I put it on there that way, it would have just done it, right? It just would have done it. All right, so GBP AUD. All right, so now what has transpired is you came here. Doesn't this just look so much cleaner? When you look at this, it just looks so much cleaner looking at it from here, doesn't it? So what we do is understand that this identifies reversal patterns. What the market does, the market goes up, the market goes down, right? The market goes sideways, the market goes up, the market goes down, the market goes up, goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. That's it. That's all it does, okay? That's it. It's just that simple. So now what we're doing, okay, this tool, the vibrato, this tool scans the market and finds those high probability trades. It's always called in a correction. This one finds the reversal patterns. So basically, let me help you understand why I like for you guys to use that one and bring it back over here. So if I'm looking at reversal patterns, right? So you see how the market was going up? What a reversal pattern is when a market says, you know what? I'm turning around and I'm coming back down. Or when the market is moving up and it's a nice correction in the market. So this is what a reversal pattern is. So what will happen is the harmonic scanner will, like if we were here, it would have found a pattern and it would have turned around and it would have pulled it up. Now I'm gonna tell you now, you have some people that can sit here and they'll come get these. You see these tools, you see the patterns. I'm not doing that. We gonna keep it simple, okay? I love it when Miss Anderson says KISS, keep it super simple, okay? I love that. We're gonna keep it simple. The harmonic scanner scans the market for me. It scans the market for me, right? It scans the market for me and ta-da, allow it to identify the harmonic pattern. So the same thing we just saw is exactly what it's doing. So I don't have to do the calculations for me. Will there be another high frequency? Stay tuned. We're drilling down right now, but we're ramping up for the new year, okay? So just stay tuned. We have you covered in BYOB. So now what happens here, okay, is you can definitely see, like how we have a pattern. So this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to come here and write these numbers down, all right? Come write these numbers down, all right? Write these numbers down. It's that simple. And understand that take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, they're nothing more, right? See, I don't even know what this is. So see, we don't want too much. I just saw that they just added this. You see how they add stuff every day? This all we want is the numbers. All we want is the numbers, okay? Can you co-sign with me and say it with me? All we want are the numbers. Understand that take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3 is not necessarily your take profits. You guys I'm saying that real slow because I need you all to understand it is not necessarily your take profits. So you with me? You understand? It's not. It is based on Fibonacci levels. I wish it would be called a goal. I wish it was called, I don't know, a wishful destination. I wish it was called a probability, but it's called a take profit. But that doesn't mean 3 different take profits. It doesn't mean 3 different trades. It doesn't mean, it means that 3 opportunities after we go analyze the market for us to be in profit. Okay. Profit means making money. So, all right. I want to be very clear. So now what we're going to do before I mark the chart up, I want you guys to understand the strategy really quickly. Okay. We're going to go through this. So when you come on here, when you click on here, obviously, let me walk you through this. So here we have the 2 currency pairs, okay? We have our British pound and our Australian dollar in this example. So we have our 2 currency pairs. Now, what each one of these time frames represent It represents how long do I have until I get the next candle. It's that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Now, because it takes 4 hours for me to get another candle, if I press this, you see that this candle just started at the top of the hour. And this means that it's going to take another 3.5 hours before I get another candle. So this one is obviously going to have more strength, because if it takes 4 hours to get a candle and it's in a buy, that means my buyers in the market are really strong. We're looking at a real market. All right. You're looking at a real market. I don't want you to feel like foreign exchange is a different market. You're just taking the same market and having a different perspective of it. Okay. You're participating in the exact same market from a different perspective, a different way. That's it. That's all we're doing. All right. So this just means if in 4 hours I have a strong green candle, that simply means that the buyers are strong, right? The buyers in that market are strong. So my mid time frames, which is my 15 and my 30, is where analyzation happens. Okay, that's where that happens. My lower time frames is how we enter a trade. So that means that every 5 minutes we get a candle. So let me walk you through that so we have complete understanding. All right. I want to make sure that we have great clarity and understanding, as we walk through this. So let's do it. Let's do it. So here I am on my 15 minute. Now, trust me, you're going to get triggers on the 5 minute. You're going to get triggers, right? We just did, I'm a markup from the hour. It does not matter. No matter what time frame I'm looking at this from, guess what? It's the same market. Because I hear many of you say, can I trade on the 5? Can I trade on the hour? Can I trade here? Can I trade there? It's the same thing. When you're sitting on your porch, right? Wherever you are right now, where are you guys at? Some of you guys in the bedroom, some at the kitchen table, some at a computer desk in your office, wherever you currently are. If you were sitting on your porch, right, or your gazebo, wherever you're at, your physical destination or your location does not change. What happens is if I'm in the room with you, which would be my lower time frames. If I'm in the room with you, I can see your actual movement. I can see your actual activity. I can see what's actually happening with you, right? So I can see if you picked up a coffee cup, if you picked up a pencil, if you roll your eyes, if you're doing something else right now, if you're drinking water, you're watching a movie, I can see all of those activities because I'm in your zone. It doesn't change your location. It changed my viewpoint. If I'm mid time frames, which are my 15 and my 30, for example, I might be down the street. If you're on your patio, I can see you, but can I see all the movement that you do? From down the road, when I pull into the neighborhood, you on your patio, you look like a little dot. Can I see you roll your eyes if you look like a dot? No, but what I know is you're on the patio, right? I know where you're sitting. That's what that does. And then if I'm on my higher time frame, I might be in an airplane. If I'm in an airplane, you look like an ant, if I can see you, but I can see you, but you look like an ant. So can I see the movement? Would I really get a good entry point from my hour? Would I be able to pop your hand if you touch it, like I'm thinking about my grandchild right now, like if you touching the stove. So, those are the things. That's what I mean by understanding it only is the perspective. Questions, comments, testimonies. Are you with me? Are you with me? I want to make sure you're with me. Are we understanding? Is it making sense? Awesome. So now, and it's just keep going higher. Hey, I might be a satellite if I'm on the monthly. If I'm on a monthly, it's like a satellite view. So that's the mindset. So I'm just trying to make this really clear for you guys tonight. And please drop it in the chat if you have a question, a comment, or a testimony. So now here we are. I don't want to be so close to you I can't see the big picture, but I also don't want to be so far away that I can't analyze properly. So this is why we always start around the 15. It's not the fact that I don't need the higher time frames. I do. I need to know what's going on. But it is an understanding that this is where I want to begin to analyze. Like this is where I want to begin my analyzation. Remember, I'm in the same place. So here we are. We have 3 simple indicators, all right? I have 3 simple indicators. And what these indicators are is my stochastic, which is my leading indicator. It's a leading indicator, okay? It is a leading indicator. And then we have my green candle with a flat bottom and my PSAR flip to the bottom. So these are trend candles, right? So, you know, hey, I have a military background. I like bottom line up front. I don't have to know the struggles between the buyers and the sellers. I don't need to know all the details. Somebody ever told you a story and you're like, would you get to the point? Would you really just get to the point? You know, I don't need all those details. You're talking too much. Are we buying or are we selling? You know, is it more buyers in the market or is it more sellers in the market? You know, I just need you to get to the point. That's what the Hikanashi candles do for you. They get to the point. You know, it's a translation. And then, you know, here we are with the dot, the PSAR, right? The PSAR flip. So the dot is either going to be on the top or the bottom. So this is a trailing stop and reversal. It's a trailing support and resistance lines. It's the market. The market is telling you, where I need to be. The market is telling you where you need to be, right? That's what the market is telling you. So the market is telling you how much, you know, momentum, how much space I need to give it for my, I would say, how much space do I need to give you? The market is predicting like, look, it's going to stay within the zone for buying. So the market's kind of telling you like, you know, your cushion, you know, how much, you know, is based on the volatility and all of that stuff in the market. But guess what? We don't have to figure it out. You know, we don't have to figure it out. You know, when you got to a certain point in math and you didn't have to do all the work, you didn't have to analyze the problems, you didn't have to do it. Well, that's where we are right now. The PSAR flip, the market is telling me this is the answer, okay? We're just turning in the answer. We don't need to show the work. I'm not showing you the work. So blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. I have a green candle with a flat bottom and a PSAR flip to the bottom. Those are my three indicators. Those are my three. So just like I told you, leading indicator, the stochastic told me it was going to rain. My iPhone said, you know what? It is going to rain in 13 minutes. I looked at my phone and said, oh, y'all getting fancy. Because, you know, they already tell me when I need to leave and go get my daughter. But I was like, okay, so now you're telling me what the weather is going to be. So blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum, leading indicator, which means that, you know, now something has to transpire. The market had to do something for me to get that average. And so that flat bottom and that PSAR flip. However, I'm here, I'm down the street, I can see you, but I still need to know the big picture. I'm not gonna just take a trade. I'm not analyzing I'm not diving in without me knowing the big picture, right? We're not doing it. So I'm gonna jump to my hour. And when I go to my hour, what I'm looking at to see if I'm in alignment, if I'm in confluence. Do I have my mother's permission? Remember, the 4 hours ahead of household, the 1 hour is the mom. So this the dad, this the mom. This is the one that makes all the decisions for the household. Then the hour is the mom. So if they're both in alignment, we have a really smooth, everything is nice in the house, right? My 15-minute, my teenagers, remember, they have like a little bit of authority, but not much. That just means mom and daddy could lead a house and you know, they could lead a house and they trust you enough to make the right decisions. But these are the toddlers. These are, y'all, my granddaughter. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, girl, right? They make the most noise, but they have no authority. So remember, but I'm in your area. I'm in my space, right? I'm in it, right? I'm in it. So, you know, exactly. You know, you got to take your brother with you. So the 5 minute need to be in alignment too. So now what we see is we have a perfect setup, right? On my 15-minute. So let's go check our hour and see if we have confluence. Now, what would confluence mean? Confluence would mean that my stochastic is in an upward momentum and I also have a green candle, okay? Now, on my hour, I don't need the PSAR flip. I don't need all of that. I just need to know that I'm in alignment. I have my mother's blessings. I have her best wishes, you know, and right now it's like, do we really? So let's look at it. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. So here we are. My stochastic is curving up, right? My stochastic is curving up. It's curving up, but this candle is red. Now, Well, I'm going to tell you that, does this candle look like this one? Does this candle look like this one, right? How many of you all have seen these types of candles before? How many of you seen them? All right, because I'm saying, y'all, if y'all sleep, I'm going to sleep. I'm just saying. No, all right. I know, seriously though, I'm being funny because I know it's a delay. I know it's a lag. There's quite a bit of construction going on in my area, and my internet has been really, really, really lagging the last 2 days. So I'm being funny. I know you guys are here. Now, so right here, right, this candle, no, we don't use the word confusing. We don't use that word. You needed some clarity, right? We want to always control the energy we put in our environment, in our space. You need some clarity. So when you see this candle, you needed some clarity. So let me help you with your levels. All right, let me help you with your levels. If you're a 111, you just got started today, okay? Like you just in the academy, you're not touching the trade. You didn't touch it. All right. If you're a 222 and you're still learning, let me give you a little advice. And this is for everybody. You'll start seeing it, but I want you to focus on the basics, build your skill set, right? Stay in the basics and build your skill set before you start doing other things. So now, right here, what I can tell you is this is how it closed. This candle closed red. That doesn't mean it was red the whole time. You have one here, you have it here. So remember, it's an indecisive candle. So you see how we were selling and then we turned around and started buying. So this candle, the sellers started losing. So what that means is during the duration of that hour, right? During the duration of that hour, it could have been green, it could have been red, it could have been red, it could have been green. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned with the type of candle it is, okay? And that you can see that. So what I will be doing right now, this is for my next level. These are for my advanced 222. So just understand, we went to elementary school, we went to middle school, then we went to high school, okay? We went to elementary school, we went to middle school, then we went to high school. So if you have not gone through elementary school, don't try to go to the prom. And I'm saying that because I need you guys to kind of stay understanding. If you still in elementary school, don't touch, you're done, right? I'm not taking that trade. If you're in middle school, you can analyze it a little bit deeper, right? If you're in high school, you marking the charts. You want to know if it's on a psych level, where's the support and resistance lines, where's the trend, did it break, is it retesting? That's what you want to know in your higher level courses. But for middle school, you're like, what I do know is that this candle, right, it's got some significant pullback in it. My sellers are getting exhausted. So let me drop down and check my 30. Now, why can I do that? Because it's GBP. GBP has a lot of liquidity. You can only do that with GBP. That's it. That's the only one, right? That's it. That's the only one. So questions, comments, testimonies so far. Questions, comments, testimonies. Are we receiving more clarity? Let me know, because I want to make sure that you all can see this market, because I'm telling you, we're coming in hard. We're going strong in the new year. And I'm saying the new year because we're just closing out a 6 and 6. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be very clear. Let me give you all some clarity. I do not believe in New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions are cop-outs to me, because there's false motivation, false reality, false, because we're going to do the same thing every year. The black eyed peas, the cabbage, all of that stuff, and then nothing's going to change. You're putting all your hope and wish in something, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to work this time. No, it's not. I'm sorry if I break your heart. It's not going to work this year either. You got to put in some work. So you cannot go get a gym membership, and because you got a gym membership and it's the new year, every year, I need more money. I need to lose weight. I need to do this. I need to do that. Every single year. And what changes? Nothing changes until you do. So set goals and get to work. We don't need to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all this other stuff. Set goals and get to work. And so what we're doing is setting goals and getting to work. That's it. That is exactly what we're doing. All right. That's what we're doing. All right. So Yeah, you'll wait for, so this is what I mean. So depending on where you are, you would have waited. You're right. You're absolutely right. You would have waited. Now, let me see. We are at 7:45. So yes, we would have waited till 8 o'clock, which would be the next candle. So we would have just had to wait 15 minutes in this case. Exactly, 15 minutes. That's it. You would have had to wait 15 minutes. So if you're 111, you would have waited, you would have waited 15 minutes, and then we would have came here up. We didn't have a flat bottom. So what ultimately would have happened is you would have had it right here. And so when we came here, I got a clear. Right here, we actually have a green candle. So now we in the clear. All right. So for my middle school students, then we would drop down to the 30 minutes and you can see where it began. So now you're in the trade right here. All right. But we still have to go check that. Look, hot mic. All right. So we still have to come and we check the 5 minute. When we come check the 5 minute, it needs to still be buying. Still be, because remember, these are the ones that makes the most noise. You're going to see, let's go back to our analogy. I'm going to see all the activity that transpired first, right? I'm going to see everything that you're doing. I'm going to see you pick up the coffee cup. I'm going to see you get the water. I'm going to see you adjust your glasses. I'm going to see everything that you're doing, because now I'm in your space. I'm in your space. And that's what the lower time frame represents, is being in your space. So we actually can see all of the activity that's taking place. And when I look here, right, you can see my stochastic is still buying. You see that buy started back here. So, so now you can see it moving here, and you can see, where we're still buying. And then of course, if you waited because you're in elementary school still, you waited those 15 minutes, you can see where it's still buying right here. All right, you guys see all of that? Questions, comments, testimonies. And while you drop your questions, comments, or testimonies, just to be a little bit clear, all right? Like, what in the world? Here we go. Just to be a little bit clear, when we're looking at this, okay? When you're looking, I want you to see something. Same thing. I'm down the street. Look at this candle. It's a nice candle. But when I get in your space, I don't see the corrections and the pullbacks, right? I don't see those things because of the reality, right? I see more activity here. So there are some things, if you adjust your glasses and I'm down the street, I'm not going to see you adjust your glasses. I'm just going to be able to see you sitting on the porch. But when I drop down, I see all the activity. I see everything, but I cannot see that when I'm up here. All right. So I'm glad it's clear. I'm glad tonight, and if my chart stopped running away, I'm glad tonight is bringing some clarity. So now what I'm going to do is that we're going to put those numbers on there. Okay. Let's drop those numbers on there. Let's drop them on there. So you guys could understand exactly what I meant. Exactly what I meant about identifying the reversal patterns. So here we have a beautiful, clean chart. Beautifully clean chart. You guys know I like clean charts. All right. It's not an EKG. Okay. I like clean charts. 87163. So we just these are those take profits. Remember those numbers? I said, write those numbers down. Write those numbers down. Now that I've written the numbers down, right, we're going to squinch up the charts a little bit. We're going to squinch them up. Now that I've written those numbers down, what do you guys see? Can you see the structure? Can you see the structure? Can you see the reversal pattern? Awesome. You can see it. Even if you didn't see it before, even if tonight is your first call, now you can see the reversal pattern. You might not know what to do with it, but you can see it, right? You can see it. This is why, we have so many tools, right? We have some great tools. Look, each one of these represent a tool that really puts you right. Each one of these, HFX, right? Digital currency, all of these represent tools that we have. So they're all wonderful. We train on them. We teach on them. We show you how to use them. But what I like, right? What I like is being able to take this for while you guys are learning, drop this on there right? Put this on there, and then you can see it. So now I can come in here, right? I'm gonna actually drop that potential entry point on here too. We're gonna turn that orange. So now remember, we never blindly take a trade. Promise me you will not blindly take a trade. Promise me. I'm telling you guys, as a financial advisor, I used to get that all the time. Here's my money. Just do what you need to do with it. And I'll be like, what? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? No. Right? And so no, we're not doing no. Do not blindly take a trade. So remember, all of these are fibs, okay? All of these are Fibonacci's, okay? All of these are Fibonacci's, Fibonacci levels. Now, Fibonacci's are just levels based on percentages and things like that in the market. I'm not putting a fib on here. Well, let me see. Let's see here. And y'all know I don't never use this thing. I gotta find it. I have to find it. Dr. Byford gonna pass out if I do. You know, I'm not gonna look hard for it. That's why I don't know where it's at, because I never use it. But a lot of people use it. And it got one more time. I probably looked over it. Guess what? It's not that important. It's not meant to be. It's just not meant to be. It's just not meant to be. And it's just not meant to be. Nope, wrong one. I know what that is, and I grabbed it. And now that one, you know, it's just not meant to be. It's not meant to be. Oh, well, I tried to show you. It's just not meant to be. All right. So now, as we look, right, these are those potential entry points, okay? These are those potential entry points. I like market talks, right? When you understand what the market is saying to you. I like market talks. I like you to be able. Now, I know I'm just not, I don't ever use it. I was just trying to make a point. I really wasn't gonna do it. You know, I was just trying to make a point about these levels. So that's why it wasn't that important. But I greatly appreciate that you trying to help me out. I do. I appreciate it. So, so when you look here, okay, when you look here, you can see. Now I know what it is and I know what it does. What I just truly believe in helping you see the market for what it is. I truly believe in you having clarity and understanding what you're looking at, right? I do like clean charts. I like you being able to see the charts. I like you being able to understand the charts. That's actually what I like. And so, you know, because of that, I don't like us having, to me, those things are what we call crutches. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like us to get, you know, so if it wasn't, this is price action with a twist. I'm gonna be as close to price action as I can possibly be. And price action is simply being able to understand the market, looking at market patterns, you know, looking at not the patterns, looking at the market structure, because I don't even use the patterns. Looking at the market structure and understand what the market is saying. And then I apply these indicators to give me that twist to it. And it's been much more effective. And even we have so many people that are winning because now they have a relationship with the market. They can see the market and they can understand the market, and they're not utilizing the thing. No, I know where it is. I know where it is. I got less than 10 minutes left. It's not that serious. So yellow lines are potential take profit. Right, correct. I don't have a red line. That's the market. That's the price point. That's what that is. I didn't put a red line on there. So now, so this is what it gave us. And I was just, and I'm gonna say it again, I was just trying to show you guys something. You know, no, it's a line, it's a dotted line right there. I said I didn't put it on there. As you see, it's right here. That's the price. The price is moving. That's the price. So the price is moving. I don't put that on there, but the price is moving. That's what that is. So, right. So all right, awesome. So this is based out, and the only thing, look, I spent too much time on that. The only thing I was trying to show you guys is that this is based on Fibonacci levels. So you guys can go play with the tool. You guys can go play with it and have fun with it if you want to. I just want you to see this. I want you to see where the market turned at, where it came off of here. I'm going to go look at psychological levels. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go look at this psychological level right here. So what I'm seeing is how the market turned around, right? And how now we're pushing for that buy. So it gives you that particular harmonic pattern, gives you two potential entry points. But you also understand that we're not taking a trade like that. We're not doing it. So let's come in here and let's analyze and let's see what's going on, right? Because I understand that the trade was triggered on the hour. And being that the trade was triggered on the hour, when I come to my hour, what do I see? I have a blue line crossing over the red in a downward momentum, okay? I have a blue line crossing over the red in a downward momentum. I have a red candle with a flat top. I have a peace heart flip. That's beautiful. Wrong direction, right? But it's beautiful. Let's come check my hour. Now, what is my hour doing? My hour is look at my stochastic, my 4 hour. Look at my stochastic on this 4 hour. Look at the stochastic. And then look at the candle, right? So obviously that pullback on the hour is why we're not breaking through that zone. But tell me what that means when my hour and my 4 hour is non-alignment. My 4 hour is in a buy. My 1 hour is in a sell. What is happening right now? Yep. Trust your trade Thursday and pop quiz Thursday. What's happening right now? Somebody help me out. Well, we don't have confluence, but I want a little bit deeper than that. What's happening? No, we definitely don't take the trade. We don't enter any trades off the higher time frame. Right? We don't enter. Exactly. It's a correction. It's a correction. So we never, ever, ever enter a trade off the higher time frame. So the lower time frames is your entry. I need to know I'm in alignment. So my 4 hour says I have a buy, right? That's a strong stochastic, but that's a weak candle. It's a weak candle because my 1 hour, right? So that's like the dad and the mom. They're not in alignment. They're not in alignment. The house is not smooth. There is no smooth sailing. Okay. Then I come down here and you can see when I get to my mid time frames where we do analysis, you can see how the correction is starting to come out. It's starting to come out of that correction, right? And right here on my 5 minute where all the activity takes place, you begin to see. Now, obviously, we don't have a trade at this moment. And then look, we just, look how ironic this is. Because they just analyze different things. We just trigger for a sell. So if I come in here and I trade, if I look, my trigger 17 minutes ago, what was happening 17 minutes ago? You know? What is this? I don't need you to believe in the 5 minute. I don't believe in the 5 minute. The 5 minutes shouldn't be nothing more than getting in alignment. Because think about this. Like, let's just talk about my granddaughter. Y'all hear her in the background sometimes. Let's just talk about her. She is loud. She always has something to say. She never stopped talking. I love her, but I'm just going to be real. That's who she is. She does not stop talking. But so she always has something to say. And the reality is she doesn't control anything. If I tell her we going somewhere, we going somewhere. If I tell her it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. If I tell her to get in the car, she get in the car. If I tell her to eat her food, she's eating her food. So she has no authority, but she's the loudest one in the house. That's the 5 minute. They have no authority. So you guys don't need to trust the 5 minute until they're in alignment with what the higher time frame is telling them. Right? That's when we trust the 5 minute, when they get in alignment, not before. So if I said it's time to go to bed, but she get up and try to go get a snack, who's going to win? Who is going to have dominion? Like who is it? Like what's going to happen? Because even if she gets ice cream, it's only because I said so. It's only because I do it. She can't go get it. So we don't need to believe in the 5. You believe in the authority of the way. So my 5 minute right now, right? The higher time frame is in a sell. So it's absolutely no way I'm taking a buy, right? It's absolutely no way I'm taking a buy. So as you can see that, you see how it's pulling back already. Look how that candle pulling back already. Even though we have it up in the upward momentum, even though we have a green candle, we have a PSAR. No, ma'am, no, sir. The higher time frame said you know, yes, exactly. Didn't I tell you? That's what's happening right now. Didn't I tell you? That's what's happening. And so you can see it's going to keep trying. It's going to keep trying, but look at that stochastic starting to have that curve, right? Y'all can believe her all you want to. She's cute. She's really, really cute. Look at that stochastic. Look at my stochastic starting to curve. She's really, really cute, but she doesn't control anything. And that's how I need y'all to see that 5 minute, okay? It's really pretty. It gets really in alignment, but they have absolutely no authority. Questions, comments, testimony. Questions, comments, testimony, so I can transition this call. Yes, it is. I like how you put it. I is going to win. Questions, comments, testimonies. Anybody, so we can transition. Was this helpful? So you guys have to wait for this to finish, this correction to finish. Once again, you do not know how far down the correction is going to happen. We don't know how much is going to correct. We just know it's going to correct. It might not get past here. It might pull all the way down here. We don't know. But what we do know is it needs to get back into alignment with our 4 hour. All right. That's what needs to happen. So, all right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad it brought some clarity. I am so glad. And that's what we're going to do. We are, on Tuesday, Miss Andrew's going to be doing the basics. We'll be doing some analyzation on our morning call next week. And we'll be back on here doing the same thing throughout this holiday season, just slowing it down and making sure you can fine tune and diving into your understanding. Just walking there so you could kick the door in when we get ready to do the 6 and 6. All right. That's what's happening. All right. So with that being said, ladies, I'm going to transition this call to a gentleman. Yes, a gentleman that has a PhD in finance and economics. We're talking about a gentleman that is about to bring you your RX for Forex. So I'm going to turn this call over to none other than the one and only finance doctor, Dr. Craig Bythewood. Dr. Bythewood, are you on the line?
Yes, I am, Miss Tasha M. Dyer, the trade whisperer, AKA Master Educator. Thank you so much for another wonderful training and for breaking down not only what we're going to be doing for the next month, but why we're doing it. Success experts always say that it is a mistake to wait until the beginning of the year because then it's too late to build momentum. You start building momentum now. And that is exactly what we're doing as a movement. And I absolutely applaud it. It continues to amaze me that the leadership team at BYOB, and I mean extended leadership, everyone who's involved in any way, we oftentimes do not talk about certain things. There's no meeting before the meeting, but then we get on these calls and we literally say the same thing. Or this has happened to you. You were thinking something, or you had a conversation about something, and then it was said by an educator. That's that collective consciousness I keep talking about, where when people are together, their vibrations are matched, their frequencies are aligned. And that's just one of the many examples that we have of why this movement works. So welcome to a talk with the finance doctor, your RX for Forex. Ms. Smith, how are you? So I want to briefly welcome those of you who are new. This call is a talk with the finance doctor on purpose, because we recognize that this is an opportunity to have a dialogue with someone who is just like you, but happens to wear blazers at 10 p.m. at night, Eastern Standard Time. But in reality, beyond that dad joke, is the fact that I've been exposed to the information in the financial and economic realm that you may not have been exposed to simply because you out doing your thing. You were developing your craft. You were doing what you were doing prior to recognizing that you now have access to a skill set that will change your life, that will allow you and your family to enjoy wealth and abundance at a different level. And better yet, because really it's not about the wealth and abundance, it's about the freedom. It's about the economic freedom. The economic freedom to be able to call your own shots, to have control. That is really what's going on. So I said all that to say that we recognize that this conversation should be a dialogue. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a testimony, please unmute your mic. Please allow that red diagonal line on the left-hand side of your rectangle to disappear. Some of the best moments we've had on these calls have been opportunities where we get to hear your voice and hear your inflection. The other night, God revealed to me that someone had a testimony, and I just kept asking, even though there was silence. I kept asking because I knew someone needed to talk. And the interesting thing, I wish I could remember her name. I apologize. But when she spoke, first thing she said was, I don't know, it was me. Come on, y'all. You know it's always you when you speak up. But I said all that to say this. That conversation was very, very moving and valuable to individuals on that live and those who will hear it in the future. So if you have an inkling of any question, any comment, any testimony, please unmute your microphone. So welcome to a talk with the finance doctor. So one of the things that I like to do, and hear me, if you have a question, do not wait for me to have a pause. Just my favorite sound is the rustling of the microphone, because that means we're about to, again, participate in that collective consciousness where someone's going to say something that's going to be a benefit, but also it means that your agenda is always more important than my agenda. Trust me, I've been in this game almost 30 years. So I always come up with something to say. But what you ask, what you say, what you state, that's coming from the hearts of the movement. So I always will yield my agenda to questions. In fact, if I can be honest with you, this is the way I look at a talk with the finance doctor. I'm going to have a backup agenda, back up to them. Whatever they have, that's first, my agenda second. So my backup agenda is always there. I've got index cards, conceptual index cards of items I can talk about. So let me just do that. Are there any questions, comments, testimonies on a talk with the finance doctor? Okay, so my backup agenda for today is I want to talk about what I feel is a synthesizing of many of the comments that have been made by Miss Dyer, Miss Anderson, and Mr. Rogers over the past, say, 3 to 5 weeks. There's been a lot of conversation about how we should be preparing ourselves mentally, how we should walk through this process, what our journey should be like in terms of our perspective. So to set this up, I always put her out there. My youngest daughter and Ms. Dyer's granddaughter will use these recordings with their therapy sessions. So I said to my youngest daughter today, I said, honey, you know, when I say honey, I'm softening it for the blow that's about to come. I said, honey, we do not grow and expand from the outside in. We do not become better tomorrow. We do not address issues. We do not find solutions by looking at what's going on outside of us. He did this, she did that, they said this, they said that. You can only do that from within. You go within and look at what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're feeling. And that is how you're able to address it. And I'll go ahead and go a little bit deeper, because the specific situation involved someone saying something to her that she didn't like. So she got really upset and said, I hate it when they talk to me like that. But in reality, that's the way she talks to people. But hear me. This is not about my daughter. This is not about me chastising my daughter. This is about us understanding the way spirit works. This is about us understanding the way life works. Because it bothers you. Because it bothers you. That is proof that it's something inside of you that needs to be addressed. That's why it bothers you so much. We just don't see it. You know why we don't see it? Because the viewpoint from the inside out and the viewpoint from the outside in is different. If you're in the movie, you're in the movie. So certain stuff you just don't see. But I'm sitting in the audience and I can see stuff isn't that what y'all do at the movies? Hey, watch out, don't go in there. Why didn't they see it for themselves? Because they're in the movie. They don't have the same vantage point. So I said all that to say that in a situation like that, you don't realize that you get mad at the very things that are a part of you. You know, there's a name for this. It's called, if you spot it, you got it. I wonder who wants to be real tonight. I wonder who wants to recognize that if we have a conversation like this, where we analyze ourselves spiritually, we put ourselves in a better position to be peaceful, to be loving, to be understanding, to be empathetic. And when we do that, guess what? Our trading account benefits because we are at a state of mind that is a vibrational match for a winning trade. I know I'm not the only one on this call that have had your worst trades in your worst moves. Oh, I just said something. Oh, he's gonna tell the truth tonight. I know I'm not the only one that has had their worst trades in their worst moves. That's the way life works. How you do one thing is how you do all things. So back to baby girl, I'm saying to baby girl, the reason why you're bothered by this is because that's you. That's who you are. Okay, so what do? This is what you do. When there's something on the outside that's really bothering you, if there's something on the outside that's really irking you, there's something on the outside that's really triggering you, instead of pointing at the triggers, instead of pointing at the people, this is what you do. You look within and ask yourself, what are ways that I am doing that exact same thing? Let's be more specific. So you feel disrespected by someone, and the 3 people disrespected you today. So you look inside yourself and say, okay, what are ways in which I could be more respectful? Look how I said that. Look how kind I'm being to myself. What are some other ways in which I can be more respectful? And when you find those ways, you identify those ways, and then you start being more respectful, guess what? All the disrespect you saw goes away. God got this thing so smooth. You know, Ms. Dye talking about the Fibonacci, and it's a natural sequence that breaks down the moves. Well, actually, everything works like that. So we sometimes miss it because we look at the outside and we want to point at them. They're the problem. They're the problem. But in reality, God has set it up so smooth that those things that trigger us are messages from him to check your own emails. Check your inner emails. What's going on with you? So if you look at what you're doing rather than what they're doing, you fix the problem. It's a vibration. It's a vibration. Okay, let me go a little bit deeper because some of y'all don't believe. Some of y'all hear me, but you don't believe me yet. Let me prove it. I'm just going to call my sister out. I have 2 sisters, okay? One of my sisters, on Thanksgiving Day, I text her and said, Happy Thanksgiving. She texted me back a meme, Happy Thanksgiving, okay? So 2 days ago, she called me and she said this. Well, I felt her neck doing like that. Some of y'all thinking, well, if she called, how you know her neck was doing that? I felt it. So she said, well, I figured I'd reach out to you since you didn't reach out to me for Thanksgiving. Now, hear me. This is not a talk with the petty doctor. This is not a talk with petty Pendergrass. I'm not trying to be petty. Who cares about who's right or wrong? That's one of the things we do that affects our ability to have the right mindset for trading. We care about right or wrong. Irrelevant. So I text her, I sent her the screenshot. Now, the basis of the call was to get on me because I did not reach out to her. But I did. But here's my point. Here's my point. Some of these very opinions that y'all are basing your moods on, some of these very opinions that you're basing your actions on, some of these very opinions that you're basing your reactions on, they may not even be true. They may be inaccurate. They may be illusions, because she wasn't lying. She really felt he didn't reach out to me. He didn't reach out to me. So the screenshot just is not about Craig reaching out to her. What? I'm sorry, the finance doctor reaching out to her. The text is about the fact that sometimes we're in a certain vibration where we see things that aren't even accurate. So I said all of that to say this. Some of you right now are feeling some type of way because your progress is not moving the way you think it is. I felt it. I felt it. The trade whisperer said this. She said, okay, we're about to close the year strong, and then we're going to start over 6 months, 6 figures in 6 months. I felt some of you feeling some type of way because she's saying, let's start over, and you're still in the first 6 months. That's okay. That's okay. And let me tell you why it's okay. I heard someone say recently, I'm just going to steal it because I liked it. They said, the quickest way to get your trading account to where you want to go is to go slow. Let me say it again. The quickest way to get your trading account to where you desire is to go slow. Think about that. The quickest way is to go slow. The quickest way is to go slow. The quickest way is to go slow. Wait a minute, Dr. B, that's counterintuitive. Actually, it isn't. Actually, it isn't. So when the trade whisperer introduced me, this is what she said. She said, he has a PhD in finance and economics. Sometimes when I hear that, if I can just be real on a Thursday night, sometimes when I hear that, it takes my mind back to my experience getting the PhD. And earlier she talked about relaxing your shoulders. That's one of my favorite concepts. Well, my shoulders were not relaxed during that process. That was not a relaxing process at all for a whole bunch of reasons. That's not what this call is about. I'm just making the point that some of the courses, some of the material, some of the math-based expositions, they were way too mathematical to really be relevant to what I'm doing now until tonight. Because here's one of the things that we study. We studied a class called econometrics. Econometrics is as scary as it sounds. And I'm that dude that loves all classes. I never believed in that a class is hard. I always thought that was an illusion. Well, it was true that time. Econometrics takes economics and statistics and brings them together. And when I tell you, just for a second, those of you that took economics, think about the formula, the hardcore formulas. There could be a whole page in the textbook. You know what statistics is like. Now let's blend them. Child, please. Worst class experience ever. So one of the things we learned in econometrics was this. When you are doing something where you're comparing two variables and you're looking at the growth of those variables, watch me. When you're looking at the growth of those variables, there are two ways that the growth can display itself. Two ways that the growth can display itself. Time out. Okay, I hear him. I heard the story about his daughter. I hear what he's saying. Now he's talking about econometrics. How is he possibly going to relate this to my trading account? How is he possibly going to relate this to the quickest way to go is to go slow? So, two ways that you can represent the relationship between two variables as they grow. The first way is called discrete growth. Discrete growth. Okay, what's discrete growth? So the little girl that I'm talking about, that I'm gossiping about, she's right upstairs. So in order for her to go upstairs, it's a discrete set of stairs. Each step is equidistant to the next step. So every effort that she goes is going to have an equal distance to the amount of steps she goes. So when there's a growth that's discrete, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now watch this. When you look at these two variables, the amount of this variable and the amount of this variable are the same. So let's say one of these variables is the effort you're putting into your trading. And let's say the other one is the outcome. If it's discrete, then each effort is rewarded with an equal amount of results. It's discrete. All she has to do is go up one step, and she's there. Go up a second step, and then she's there. There's an equidistant relationship between each step and her getting to the top. Now watch this. The second way that you can analyze growth. Ooh, I'm nerding out tonight. The second way that you can analyze growth is called exponential growth. Exponential growth. Exponential growth is where instead of being one-to-one, it's a function. Oh, we're gonna get mathematical tonight? It's a function. So let's go a little bit deeper. When it's discrete, it's whole numbers. 1, 2, 3. It's a number line. But when it's exponential, it's exponents. That's why we call it exponential. Because when you take something and add 1 to it, it's the same as the last one. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. But when it's exponential, then the growth, every time you increase the exponent, it grows multiplicatively. How is he going to relate this? I don't see it. So if it's exponential growth, it goes like this. It's flat because you square it, it's going to get bigger. But then you square it again, it's going to get even bigger. Then you square it again, and then finally, shoot, it's going to shoot up. So just like the Fibonacci, just like everything that happens in this world, it's exponentially growing, which means you're putting in the effort, but you might not see the result right away. But you're still doing it. You're still getting it. So how about today? I fussed at my basketball guy. I coach girls basketball one-on-oneers, and I fussed at my basketball players tonight because this is what they do. We're doing a drill. They'll get in the drill and they'll do it. Then when it's somebody else's turn, they'll do this. They're looking, they're talking, not paying attention. And I say, look, ladies, look, we're going to run a suicide unless you pay attention to every single rep. Why do I do that? Because I know in the third rep, somebody might do something and I correct them and they can learn from that rep. But if they're not looking, they don't learn from that. So I'm big on making them focus on every rep because it could be that 12th rep where you see it. It could be that 14th rep where you get it. So exponential growth means that there's all kind of effort, all kind of energy, all kind of intensity, but you don't see the results. It's exponential. I'll give you another example. When I used to do consulting for companies, especially technology companies, I would share with them something called the product life cycle. Why? Because a lot of technology companies, especially in the 80s, ooh, that made me sound old, especially in the 80s with the dot-coms, they would be frustrated because they were doing all of these things, putting all this money into research and development, and they had nothing to show for it. So I explained to them, I show them a graph, and I show them the product life cycle. And the product life cycle, especially of a technology product, goes like this. Boom, 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 boom. So they recognize you might be right here. So if you're right here and you determine that you're not getting the results, you're missing it. You're missing where you are. So the product life cycle was able to show them that they're just in a process of getting to the point, boom, where it's exponential growth. Where you know what that reminds me of? Ms. Dyer asked this question the other day on a call. She was looking at a chart and it was close to a pivot, to a resistance. And she said, we want to see if it goes through this resistance. Then she says, what is this called? And everybody was quiet for a second. Then somebody said, continuation. He was like, right. Continuation means you've been growing at a certain rate. Then when you push through this, exponential. It's a multiplicative impact. So the best way to get there quickly is to go slow because that's the natural order of things. I got a better one. The bamboo tree. When you get off this phone, Google this phone. When you get off this Zoom, Google bamboo tree. A bamboo tree grows under the ground for years. And then suddenly, when it begins to sprout, in 6 months, you got a brand new tree. It's in the ground for 6 years, but then it sprouts for 6 months. So what I'm telling you is, all I'm suggesting is that we need to operate with the natural order. The natural order is that the progress, you may not see the results, but every rep counts. Every rep makes you better. That's why the master educator always says, push the button. Push the button. Because you have to start to push the button in order, to get that rep to start going. The best way to get there quickly is slow. So don't let anybody, shift you from the fact that your process is your process. Your journey is your journey. And my reason for saying this is it's okay. Okay, y'all keep wanting to ask for examples. I'll give you another one from today. Got a phone call from someone. They did a weight analysis and they were very upset because the weight and the body composition and the BMI, body mass index, and the percentage fat, those numbers just really made them feel some type of way. So what it said is they had to lose 57 pounds. So the person said to me, how the HE double hockey sticks, yeah, they're a potty mouth. How the HE double hockey sticks am I going to lose 57 pounds? And I said, you don't have to lose 57 pounds. You just have to lose 1 pound and just do that 57 times. Ooh, that changes everything. African proverb, how does an ant eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Sometimes we take a process like this and we get so elephantitic. That it becomes overwhelming. Oh, Lord, oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna do. But literally, Chinese proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. 1 step. So I'm encouraging you tonight that where you are right now is where you are right now. Push the button. Push the button. But realize that your process is slow on purpose because that's the way it works. Life is not discrete. Life is not a set of stairs. And I'll prove it. The little baby will walk up the stairs one by one. But where would she see that in the outside world? Where in the outside world would she see something that looks like that? Do mountains look like that? Do hills look like that? Do lakes look like that? Do beaches look like that? No. Everything in life is exponential. We just have made it discrete so we can study it. So all I'm trying to say is that if you are getting reps in and you don't see the results, that's by design. That's the way the earth works. So be okay. Be easy on yourself. Push the button, but recognize that all you're doing is naturally and organically moving through your organic, I just said organic, your exponential process. The quickest way to get there is slow. This has been a talk with the finance doctor, your RX for Forex. Questions, comments, testimonies.
Dr. Reed. Go ahead, Elder Reed.
You have said so much, but one word is magnified and it's all capital letters. You just said it, and that word is encourage. I am encouraged. I know everybody on this line is encouraged by what you said tonight. I love you and I appreciate you for how you keep us going higher, another rung higher on God's glory ladder. From glory to glory, He's using you to change us. Thank you.
I certainly appreciate that, Mrs. Reed, and I love you too. Miss Anderson.
Yes, sir. Well, I have a testimony based upon what you just shared. I know before I began to just focus on one successful trade and one account per day to compound, I would set a goal to take a number of trades. And when I would set a goal to take a number of trades, like not leaving the charts until I did that, my compounding rate was less than when I just take one trade a day. Wow. So that word is in such alignment with what we're preparing for January 1st. Because if you want to continue to try, do it in a different account, but take one trade a day in the compounding account to ensure that you compound your way to six figures in 6 months. So I appreciate that. It perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for that. I wanted to add to that. I forgot what I was going to say. Any other questions, comments, or testimonies? Dang it. What did you say, Ms. Anderson, that I was going to comment on? Okay. One more time. Any questions, comments, testimonies?
This is Coach Tony. I just want to say thank you. Just in alignment with my family, saying you brought it once again and hitting home and like them, definitely something that was on my mind. Just like so wonderful how the Most High works. Just like, wow, it's just so amazing. I talked to my coach Tasha today, and she always keep me in line, major Love it. Major trade whisper, but but yeah, it was just so much in alignment because I was just thinking that to myself, like, why are you thinking about these things? Why are you paying so much attention to these things? Is it because those are the things and it was just like, man, I'm like, get out my pocket. Thank you.
That's how it works. All we have to do is be connected, and we will always be that way. Now, hear me. That's not a Dr. B thing. That's a spiritual thing. We all can do this. Jesus said, "These gifts I have, you should have them also." So literally, we all have the ability to stay at a high vibration, and we can sense and read the energy in the room. So it's always going to be like that. If you're walking with him, what comes out of your mouth will be navigated to people in your space. And quick story. A slaveholder that was from Great Britain purchased my family members as slaves. And then in 1865, they didn't emancipate them because he was British. Abolitionists found out, went and told him he was wrong, but somebody tipped him off, he left. He fled. So there was no record of his last name, and the plantation was by the woods. So no L in the last name, Coach Freedom. If you know what you're doing, you always have a job. If you know why you're doing it, you always be the boss. That's why my last name is Bythewood. Questions, comments, testimonies? Well, I want to thank everybody for receiving that. There's some people who did not say anything, and they needed this, and I appreciate that. There's some people who are going to hear this in the future, and they need this. And of course, come on, y'all know how it works. If the speaker says it, of course the speaker needs it. The speaker is always speaking from the outside in. That's how it works. So thank you all for participating in this process of growth and expansion with me. So let's pray it out. Heavenly Father, thank you for a wonderful week. Thank you for this movement. Thank you for each and every rectangle that is represented here. Thank you for the families that are waiting for us to succeed. We are thankful. We are appreciative, and we are grateful. Amen. All right, everybody. I love you. And this will officially end this call.